But let me tell you, remember I was saying to you guys last week that yes, we're doing the treatment. Yes, she's doing what she needs to do, and we're trying to follow all the rules. But I did not want the entire stay here to be she's getting treatment, sick, lying down, no fun, no shows. I mean, we hadn't been to a movie or went to any presentations or Broadway. We hadn't done anything yet. But you know how you just don't want this to be all about sickness and recovery? So I don't know if you guys know, but one of my best friend, her name was Robin Rose Stewart. Robin has a daughter named Brittany, and I saw Brittany on Facebook the other day. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday. And she was saying, I am going to be performing at the King's Theater in Brooklyn.
And I hope to see my people.
I hope to see my people. I hope to see somebody, you know. And I'm like, I said, oh, well. And I looked, I said, I wonder what King's Theater is. It was in Brooklyn. And she said, I'm performing with my uncle, Donald, which is Donald Lawrence. And, you know, Donald and I are very close. We're good friends. So I said, that would maybe something very, I wonder how far are we from Brooklyn in the theater? Because I don't know how far the distance. I'm not really familiar with the distance. And so I text him, Donald, I am in New Jersey, New York. My daughter's here for treatment for breast cancer. I would love to surprise her and bring her to the concert because it was Donald Lawrence and
Ian Levinson.
Leon
Lacey was the conductor.
Yeah, Leon Lacey is the guy that conducts for Beyonce. He writes a lot of her stuff.
Darwin Hobbs.
Darwin Hobbs and Yolanda Adams, right? So, and I looked at the tickets. Y'all know we don't blow money. Ticket was like $150, $300. So anyway, he responded back to me this like within an hour later, but I didn't see it till the next day. And he said, I'll see what I can do. I'll work on it. He said, this is not my gig. It's not me. I'm not in charge of it, but I'll see what I can do. Y'all know what happened? The next day, I got a call, an email from his office. He said, Krista, send your email to this guy in my office, and we'll see. He said, I can't promise you. I got a call, and he says, go to the box office, and we'll have 2 tickets there in your name. 2. So I was so excited about it, right? So we can get to go see a concert, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna give us some good seats. But then I really didn't know because it wasn't his gig. So the only problem we had is that Heaven and I didn't have any clothes. We only brought sweats, sneakers, shorts, and tops because our main thing was just to go back and forth to the doctor on the bus. So we didn't have any clothes. So I went and looked online, and you know, when you don't know where you're going and don't know the stores and you're not familiar with how to get there, I went online and I looked up black tie and for dresses somewhere locally, right? I saw Kohl's, and then I saw Nordstrom's rack. I haven't heard of that. I said, Heaven, he's got these dresses in here like $200-$300 for like $29 and $49 and $17. I said, can you find it? She said, well, we'll find it. So she looked it up the night before. I think that was Thursday, right? The night before. She looked up Nordstrom, and on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We got Wednesday, Thursday.
No, we got them Thursday, but I looked it up.
She looked it up on Wednesday. So it was like, how many blocks from your doctor's appointment?
It was a 10-minute walk.
10-minute walk. So we walked in. It was nice. Y'all know Nordstrom's a nice store anyway. But it's like was it on Broadway? Off Broadway. It was right on Broadway, and it had, all the designer clothes. And I said, you know, Heaven always walk away from me. I'm like, Heaven. I saw a pair of Gucci shoes, flip-flops. They were $465. There was discounted as regular $12.95 because I hadn't seen any like that before. They were like flip-flops. So, but anyway, we were able.
They were discounted as $12.95, like $12.
They were normally $1,295, but they was on sale for $4.95. Which I thought flip-flops with rhinestones. Okay, so that's the kind of store that it was. But we were able to go to the women's department and find some beautiful dresses for less than $50. I don't know how much yours was, but
40.
Yours was 40. But at any rate,
42 or 44, one of those.
So I saw some jumpsuits. So Heaven's, you know, she's petite now. I found stuff like that, just like that, for her to try on, and everything she tried on fit her perfectly. Well, I'm a little fluffer than Heaven. Fluffier. I'm a little bigger than Heaven. So it, every person that makes clothes, it's quite what kind of body you have and what you used to wear. And so I found some things that were cute, but I didn't want to wear. I don't show cleavage and just certain things I don't do. Having tried on 3 outfits, a jumpsuit and 2 of the dresses. I think I picked out a couple perfect. So my Mrs. May right here. Show that was cute. I tried on a dress I liked, and she made a comment. She said, "Mama, I think that split is too deep." And you know how when somebody say something, you get sort of paranoid about it. So it was a dress I liked, but I don't do that. But anyway, I must have tried on about 10 outfits or more. She was very patient with me. She zipped them up, and she gave me her honest opinion, because some of them she couldn't get zipped up. So I was just disappointed, right? Because I felt I had to find some. I had to go somewhere and find me a dress, because we were looking for black dresses. At any rate, I decided to go ahead and get the first one I tried on. It was a little deep, so she said, "I'll let y'all see it." And so we went downstairs to find some shoes, and having like pointed toe, show like square toe shoes, because we don't have no shoes. We have flip flops and tennis shoes. That's all we brought. We found some shoes. I found these clear yellow shoes to match Heaven's. She said,
They didn't look good in the box. They look weird in the box. They do.
But when she tried them on, I said, walk in them. Everybody like, "Oh my God, those are really pretty." So she was able to find something just like that.
And they were on clearance.
And they were on clearance.
They were like $20, $23.
They're pretty though. They're pretty. So then it was time for me. First of all, I have been in Florida for the last 8, 9, 10 years. I walk around in flip-flops all the time, and my feet are not used to walking in heels. I used to wear heels every day, but like now it's like they hurt. And so I had to find some dress shoes that really didn't hurt my feet. I found some for like $29. So we ended up getting these 2 nice outfits. So we got our outfits. We didn't buy any jewelry. And so we had 2 outfits, and we had these tickets. So now it's time for us to go to the show. So after we got from her treatment yesterday, Heaven said, because I was trying to figure out, should we take our outfits to the doctor's appointment and then just go to New York? Because they said it was an hour away. I thought it was an hour in distance. No, it's only 11 miles away, but it took an hour to get there?
Traffic in transit.
And then Donna gonna tell me, "Krista, make sure you get there early and get your tickets, because if you don't get them early," she's cold, y'all. "If you don't get them early, I'm not gonna be accessible for you to, you won't be able to contact me." So then we had to leave New York, come back to Secaucus, and then we decided we were gonna get an Uber there. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you how good God is. He's so good. First of all, I told you I'd done my first Uber last Tuesday. Was the first time I tried an Uber. So this time, Heaven ordered a Lyft. I never rode a Lyft before.
I've never used Lyft. So
You never used Lyft before?
No, I've never used Lyft before.
Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all. God is so good to us. So this Lyft came. I've never rode in a Tesla before. It was a Tesla SUV. Of course, I didn't know how to open the door. Heaven said, "Mom, you how to open the door?" I said, "I figured out. I was over there punching the door." But anyway, the guy opened the door for us. It was beautiful. It was like a glass bubble. What to me? You didn't think it was?
I mean, you telling the story.
It was pretty, all right, and then he would say, "Oh, you nice looking ladies, and I know y'all not from." He was very, very nice. He was from Charleston, South Carolina. He said he took us there, and we never told him we needed it before 5, but he drove us there, and he was showing us all the sightseeing, like the bridges and the difference between the Hudson and the Hudson River or whatever it is, and New York and how it split, and the financial district and Chinatown, and he was showing us, because I was like, "Oh my God, what's," I get excited about stuff, and we was videotaping stuff, and I text him and I said, "Wait a minute, I thought it took an hour to get here." We've been riding almost an hour and a half, but I think he sort of got excited, and he was really, really nice. And he says, "Listen, when y'all get to the facility, when y'all get to the theater, don't get out. I'm gonna open the doors for you, because you ladies look elegant." So you know me, I tell the people the truth. I said, "Well, listen, we didn't have no clothes. We went and bought something from the Nordstrom Rack." But he was so nice. He opened the door for us, and we went into the box office, and our tickets were there. And we came out because we figured we need to eat. We need to eat before we go into a show, because it started at 8 o'clock?
8:15.
8:15. It was around about
7:15.
And what time did we get there? About 6?
We got there at 5:45.
That's 3 hours. We know our stomachs, so we need to get something to eat. And when we walked out the box off, you're not gonna believe this. I ran right into my cousin. It's my daddy's brother's son. Tony was there. He like, what y'all doing here? I said, we're here for the show. He says, I'm the supervisor of the whole place here. I run this whole place.
The ushers, all the ushers and stuff.
And security too. I said, are you serious? If you need anything, I can't talk to you right now. I got to go to a meeting. So me having I walked down a little bit down Brooklyn trying to find something to eat. We did that. We come back and he like, I've been looking all over you. I thought you was performing tonight. I said, performing? He said, I thought y'all was part. I said, no, we here to see the show. And I told him why Heaven was here. And he treated us like queens. I mean, he walked me down to the front. He sat there with me. He made sure I was okay. He wouldn't leave me. Like, you good, cuz? I said, I'm good. He says, I tried to get you some seats on the front, but they already taken. I said, I'm good. We on about, 8 or 9. We weren't that far back. It was nice seats. And then I got a text from this guy. His name was Benjamin. And Benjamin said, Donald wants to, he wanted to make sure you was here. And if I need to come and help you get seated. I said, we've been here early. You told us to get here early. We've been here for a while. And we're already seated, but thank you anyway. But I want to see him. And so he texted me back because the show started. And he said, he wants you to come backstage. I said, Heaven, I sent him, we're sitting in 122 or whatever it was. I didn't put 1, I put 22. So I guess they couldn't find it. So I said, Heaven, read this text message. I have bifocals. So she read it. She put where we were. I said, well, they want us to come backstage. And she said, well, that's going to be after the show. I know better because I know Donald Lawrence. I said, no. She said, no, Mama, probably going to wait till after the show. Because right then, who was on the stage then? Iyanla?
Iyanla had just walked off.
Oh, man, she was good, too.
She was really up there when this was happening.
Yeah. And so while I was talking to Heaven, Donna was performing, and Robin's baby, Brittany, turned it all the way out. It was so beautiful. I mean, can you think, you come to a place and you really don't have all the things you need, you just believe in God, and all of a sudden, not only are you at a concert, you have wonderful seats, you're seeing the people that you love from Gastonia, North Carolina, where we're from, and then you're backstage, and then you're in the dressing room, and took pictures of Yolanda. I mean, can you imagine, we went from trying to catch a bus early that morning, the whole week long, getting lost, to now we're in this beautiful car, and we're being served. It was awesome. I'll show y'all pictures. And then after that, you want to tell me about your cousin, Tony? No.
So I went to the bathroom.
Took her 30 minutes.
I went to the bathroom. It was downstairs. Okay, so you had to go up out of the theater, go downstairs around this little hall down the corner to the bathroom. Cool. I'm on my way back, and there's like security officers or security guards, at each little point. So there's one right there at the top of the steps, one right there at the bottom of the steps, one out there by the bathrooms. Like, there was some everywhere. And so I'm just speaking to people because that's what I do. If they make eye contact with me, if we make eye contact, I'm going to speak. Hey, how are you? And so I'm doing that as I'm coming up the steps or whatever. And
she's speaking to different people.
I'm just speaking to
Hey, how you doing? Hey.
If we make eye contact, I speak. And then this guy stopped me. He said, "You're not from here, are you?" And I said, "Why you say that?" He said, "Because you're speaking to everybody." I said, okay, cool. Where do you think I'm from? He said, "I think you probably live here, but you're somewhere from the Bible Belt." I said, "Okay, where in the Bible Belt?" He said, "I think the Carolinas." I said, "Pretty spot on. I'm from North Carolina." He said, "Well, what are you doing here?" He said, "So you live here now?" I said, "No, I don't. I'm just here for a couple months doing some stuff." He said, "So what are you up to? What are you doing?" And I told him I'm doing treatment because I got diagnosed with breast cancer and that sort of thing. And he ended up being a licensed massage therapist, and he worked for like hospice care and did lymphatic massage or lymphatic draining or something like that. And so he's had some some history or some knowledge or some experience with different things like this. And so we were kind of chatting. I was telling him about my diagnosis. He was asking questions and, just having conversation. It wasn't anything too deep.
He said life looked good on you.
Yeah, he said, he said, you've been through, I told him I went through 13 different medical professionals, urgent care, ER, all of the stuff, doctors in Florida, doctors in North Carolina. Now I'm in New York with doctors. And he said, well, I said, life's just been kind of dragging me everywhere. He said, well, life looks good on you. I've lost a lot of weight. I showed him pictures. And I showed him a picture from me being like 280 to now. And he was like, well, life looks good on you. And then right around that time, my cousin Tony walked out, and that was the end of the conversation, really, because Tony walked out, and then he saw someone he knew from his church or something like that. He spoke to them. I introduced them to my cousin. We were kind of, it was kind of like a awkward conversation. Hey, how you doing? It's kind of what Tony was doing, and he was like, well, he was explaining what he does and his experience and stuff, and Tony was like,
Tony wouldn't leave heaven, y'all.
And so he didn't leave. And so the guy, he said, well, I think we follow you. I think we follow each other on Instagram now because we exchange social media. And I'm going to just show this to the people.
Harrison.
Yeah.
My granddog.
So he said, well, we follow each other on social media, so we'll catch up sometime, hopefully while you're here. And if that we'll talk soon, hopefully. And that was about it. And so me and Tony were out there talking, and yeah, so
my cousin Tony's a sweetheart. He said it was a little blocker. That's what happened. But the guy gave Heaven some really, really awesome things to do. You know how he was telling her about the lymph nodes and taking a bath and what kind of essential oils and stuff to use. And I guess he was telling you he was in a hotel, so he was telling her what kind of oils and things to use, what kind of paste to make to put in the shower so you can get that aroma to put on her body, so that with the radiation, it'll be less intrusive to her. And I thought that was wonderful. Mm-hmm. And so he had a whole list of information to show, and I just thought that was awesome. So kudos to him, even though my cousin Tony was blocking. He's a real Watson.